You know, when I moved here, Tom, I had nothing. I had zero. I came here with a dream. I mean, sometimes I feel like, you know, you hear all these people talking about the American dream. I am the result of an American dream. I grew up in a small little town in Italy, in the north of Italy, near Venice, and my parents had a store, a toy and stationery store. I was 6 when they opened the store, and basically, you know, it was a family business, so the store was our life. So I grew up in that environment, and my role in the family business was just to put out the product, the merchandise on the store. My favorite time of the year was Christmas, when I have all these decoration and toys and everything. When I started to get a little older, I started to do the window, and after my experience in New York, I went back and I started to do all these extravagant windows, complicated. I was putting the fabric on the glass because I didn't want people to see what I was doing, and I learned that coming here. So then I was unveiling my window, and I had all these people coming and take a look at what I did. I came to New York, as I said, in the 90s, and I put together a little portfolio of my work in Italy. And at that time, was very easy to fake interviews with department store, not like today. So I kind of contacted visual director at Macy's and Bloomingdale's at Saks, and when I got there, I was just say, I'm sorry, it's not that I'm looking for a job, but I want to have your opinion if my work is good for me to come here. And the response was great. Those 2 years when I was here without the green card, I was able to get a small little contract with a magazine in Italy that was specialized in window display. And I said, I'm going to New York and I'm going to be there for a couple of years. If you guys like, I can send you a report every month of the window. So I beat Windows Wear before.
I know you and I are big fans of Gene Moore.
Mhm.
So when you came to see Tiffany's windows, can you explain, so somebody who wouldn't have known
Yes.
that or that era, explain like the experience of seeing a Tiffany Fifth Avenue
Yeah.
window?
For me, I mean, Gene Moore was an icon, and I was able to meet him a few times, and I was able to have a one-on-one experience with him, which I still treasure inside my heart. I'm telling you like a little brief story, but when I was working for that Italian magazine about window display, I had no fear. So I was like, I pick up the phone and I called Tiffany and I said, I work for an Italian company, an Italian magazine. I would like to interview Jim Moore. And they passed me to Jim Moore. And at that time, my accent was really, really bad. But he was so gracious. He said, you know, I'm installing the window in a couple of days. Why didn't you come and you can see what I do and then you can write your article? I was like on top of the world. So I went there and I met with him, and he was changing the window, and then he gave me like this little blue bag, the Tiffany bag, and he said to me, hold this. And I said, hold it. And he said, don't run away with that. And I'm like, and I look inside, it was all the jewelry that was going to the window. I was like, he was, is the way that he changed the perception of how we see windows today. I mean, we owe to him. I was very fortunate and lucky that I met 2 guys, Scott and David, which at that time had a small little studio, and we were hands-on of creating things. We were doing like animal with paper mache, kind of the Simon Doonan feeling, and I learned a lot about construction, and I learned a lot about how to cut the foam core, how to wrap with fabric, how to do a lot of things, and that was a great experience. When I was working with these 2 guys, David and Scott, I also got a freelance job on Madison Avenue. It was a small little store, women's boutique, and they asked me if I could do their window on a weekly basis. They were giving me a flat fee, and the props were up to me. So I had to make sure that, you know, the budget that I had was enough to create window, and once a week was a lot. You know, every week I have to come up with ideas, and they have to be kind of inexpensive because otherwise I will eat my profit. But the exposure of Madison Avenue was so important that I said, absolutely, even if I don't make $1, I don't care. I have a window on Madison Avenue. Then I started to work for Corradi's Habitat, and then I started from there. You know, for a few years I was working with Hardgood. As I said, after I won the green card, then I was able to kind of fly in different directions, and that's when I started to work for mainly Italian brand. I was with Max Mara for several years, then I went to Versace, Cavalli, Valentino, and back to Versace. So I work with this production company out in Long Island, Spacecraft, and I had a great time and trying to learn all the stages of producing a window. 2 years ago, when I met the visual at Saks Fifth Avenue, Eva, and she hired me to coordinate the Glam Garden window, which was 30 windows on Fifth Avenue for their annual promotion with cosmetics. When I unveiled this window, I felt like on top of the world, and I said, this is the greatest moment of my career. I know it's inside me, and nobody will take that away. So it was like a fairy tale for me.
Maybe give us a little insight on Donatella's passion for Versace.
I love her. I mean, she has been an incredible woman. I mean, when I look at the history of what has happened to the brand and how she was able to pick up the pieces and put it together and continue the success of her brother, that's an incredible achievement. And I admire her for that passion. I met her a few times. She's a very shy person, contrary to the common belief. I think that people might think that she's all over the place or part. No, she's very shy, very reserved, and very kind, very kind, a down-to-earth person that maybe people on the outside don't understand that part. But
now she's a legend. She's a legend.
She is a legend.
Yeah.
She will continue to be a legend.